This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. It's tax season, and we're all a bit tired of numbers. But here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it. Guaranteed. Save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by Honda. Introducing the all-new, all-terrain Honda Passport Trail Sport, the most off-road capable Honda Passport Honda has ever dreamt up. The Passport features increased ground clearance, roof rails on all trims, and available specially developed all-terrain tires. And you'll stay comfortable with tri-zone climate control and available features like heated and ventilated front seats and a panoramic moonroof. Learn more at honda.com/passport.
Empower.
Claire is practicing her breathing for her upcoming yoga retreat in Bali. Has she ever done yoga before? No. But Claire worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Join our 19 million customers today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risks. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisor Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Om Namaste.
Hi.
Hello.
If you could see us, which you should, go on Patreon, see, we look like spring has sprung.
Spring has sprung, and
It's
we look like we planned this, but
And
we didn't.
No.
We're just on this wavelength.
We are. And it's I love when we stay there. I love when we're there. If you're also watching and you notice that there's something missing.
She's single again.
I'm not. This is like, I forget to put it on. Like when we first got engaged, I would forget a good amount.
Yeah.
And I haven't done that in a long time. But this, we started, we moved up our recording time to be slightly earlier. Are we starting slightly earlier? Slightly.
Yeah, but we're only doing 2 today.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
I wasn't as stressed about it. But I was running around with a chicken with a head cut off. Remind me to make my electrolytes.
Okay.
I couldn't find a glass. Really? You know what? The bleeding fingers, that was kind of an issue because I couldn't find Band-Aids. And there's so many things I was trying to do and not get blood everywhere.
Do you need Band-Aids to take home with you?
No, I'll tell Mox to pick some up.
No, you know I have a billion, right?
No, I don't. I would like some then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But
they are Black people Band-Aids, so they're going to be a little dark on
That's
you.
fine.
I was just letting you
I
know.
don't mind. Hey, some people like the look of Band-Aids.
Yeah.
They don't need to blend it. Also, by the way, these don't.
They don't blend
Blend
either.
in.
Those are darker than your skin.
Yeah. But yeah, I have repeatedly kept cutting my fingers, and Melissa and I were trying to figure out what it's from. I think it's my contact case. But I forgot to put my ring on, which feels so naked. And the way that I literally just cleaned my self-tanner thing and because I'm not tan. None of my body is tan.
Correct.
Just right here because I was clean. I was like, oh, this bottle is still open. Let me clean it. And then I didn't wash my hands. So anyways, welcome to another episode of Don't Blame Me.
It was a solo.
Thank you. This is where we give advice. We're recording in person. It's so lovely. You can again watch on Patreon, support the show there. But we're going to change some lives, some hearts, some minds.
Hopefully.
I hope so.
I just had an idea for
a TikTok?
Yeah.
For what?
I got to write it down.
Okay. I wonder how I'm going to decode how I wrote down all the ideas I have of TikToks for us to make but I definitely wrote them down unmedicated last night while also watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I am a little curious about, because you know me and my to-do list where I literally have to text you and Mott's often going, do you know what I mean by what this means? There was one about
Did you watch Mickey Blue Eyes yet?
No, but it's still there. It is still there. There was one that was on there for months about chips or crackers or something. And neither you or Moss can remember. And I was like, well, I have to assume it's important. I finally deleted it and I don't know, but we'll see. And don't let me forget to get gas on the way home. I will run out.
Yes.
I needed to get gas on the way home yesterday. The last time I came.
Oh, you haven't driven since then. Okay. I need to get gas before I come over to your place tomorrow.
Do you want to just drive and get gas at the same time?
Okay.
Oh, no, just so you don't have to stress about it.
Yeah.
So if you would like to call in for the podcast and get some advice, you can leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. International listeners, you can send us an audio message. Email that to meghanpodcast@gmail.com. If you are like, I don't want you to hear my voice. We love hearing your voice. That's like our preferred method. But, you know, we let you do the other ways. So you can also just type out and send it to that same email. You can type it out and send it to us on Instagram in a DM. And you can also fill out a form that we have listed in the show notes. It's also linked in our bio and everything. But for all of it, you have to be 18 or over or have your parents' permission. Again, the audio ones keep it under 3 minutes. The written ones under 300 words. And it's anonymous, so don't tell us your name. You can come with a fake name. Our audience really loved the lore of the Powerpuff Girls meets
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. So if you want to do that like went over I didn't know that was like something everyone was going to love so deeply.
And people loved it on TikTok too.
Oh, true. Yeah. So if you want to do something like that, we do always say that you don't have to go above and beyond and come up with the whole universe, but be wary of the universe you are creating if you're trying to just kind of like half-ass it, because sometimes it can allude to things you don't want to allude to.
Mm-hmm.
Incest. We do ask that you let us know how old you are, not just that you're over 18, because it helps us get a sense of you, get a sense of the vibe, get a sense of the advice we should be giving, because it does depend. And then be honest. Give your examples of what's going on, whatever, and we will do our best. And as always, you can let us know if you're sensitive, and we will keep that in mind.
Did you say the phone number?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And this time I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I trust myself. You look gorgeous today. This eyeshadow looks really good with the dress.
Thank you.
Everything coordinates.
A new face technique.
Oh, maybe that's part of it too that I'm noticing.
The 53. Never done it before.
The 53?
Yeah, it's like something that I've been seeing on TikTok. You do 53, 5 here, and then 3 here. 5 for your light, and then 3 for your darker one, and then blend it.
No, it looks really good.
Thank you.
I also think the eyeshadow looks really great today.
Thank you so much.
It's great. So join our Patreon. See how gorgeous she is. Shall we get into our first?
All right, let's get into the first one.
I am in a happy 6-year-long relationship with my boyfriend. We're planning for engagement this year. This question isn't about that. Okay. I have a coworker, let's say Jay, and we have become quite close friends over the past couple years. I've never really had a good coworker friend before, and it really helps these days. And it really helps the days go by quicker. However, recently Jay has made it clear, both with drunk texts and sober hints, that he has strong feelings for me. I've been cleared that it's a thanks but no thanks from me, and he knows, and seemingly respects my partner as well. Now here's my concern. Sometimes we hang out one-on-one outside of work. 95% of the time it's to play pickleball. And I have not shared Jay's feelings about me with my partner, mostly because it has truly no impact on our relationship. And frankly, it's annoying to think about. Why can't you just like me as a person and a friend? Anyway. Yeah, no.
No what?
No.
What though? No to work, hanging out outside of work.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, because here's the thing. Like, I agree. Like, why can't we just be friends? Why can't guys just like view us as friends? But that is not a single person activity in changing that. Mm-hmm. You can't just be like, we are only friends if one person still has feelings for you. You're not like fighting the good fight, showing that men and women can just be friends because only one half of you feels that way.
Right. And it's also a work situation. So it will make things awkward at work because the more y'all hang out, the more that he's going to fall for you because you were constantly in his life. You're there during work hours and outside of work hours. He's also texting you while drunk. Like that's so inappropriate.
Yeah. And that's like the thing. I think like you're not creating a boundary there. And like by no means am I saying that like he's taking this as an invitation. But like if he has drunk texted you and also sober hints that he has feelings for you, and you have been like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks, and he hasn't stopped with that. And he, like, it's still, like, kind of a thing or whatever, or you at least still know that he feels that way about you. I don't think we should coddle men like that. Like, I literally think I'm like, oh, okay, so then we can't be friends. Because you're not actually my friend.
Right. So, in this, there are plenty of people that play pickleball for some reason.
No, there's so many.
So, stop.
Mm-hmm.
find another pickleball partner, and he is someone you work with. And if you don't have to have lunch with him, like if anything outside of work projects, stop. Because he's already crossed the line that he shouldn't have crossed as a coworker and knowing that you have a fiance.
Yeah, and I think like maintaining a relationship with him after that is making it so like it's okay for him to it tells him it's okay for that to happen with other coworkers.
Yeah.
And I just think it's like it's an inappropriate boundary crossing. And also I think in general, not telling someone about something because it's like, well, it's like really not a big deal. Do you know the amount of useless fucking shit I tell moms all the time? It's not a big, like, I literally will be like, I will go on a 15-minute tangent about like a TikTok that I saw. And then I go, I don't even know why I told you that. So like we tell our partners useless information all the time. And so then to like also put this in the category of like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. That's like,
why haven't you told him?
Yeah. And also like if it's like so annoying for you and all of that, it's like, okay, but you're still friends. You're still hanging out. Like if it really was, you know, really hurtful and like really annoying and frustrating to like feel like you had a friend and it was just not that, I totally understand like waiting a bit before telling your partner because like there shouldn't be, but sometimes like as women, like it does feel like a little bit of shame in that of being like, well, I feel stupid and I feel silly. Like I thought we were friends. Like you clearly weren't a friend back to me. Like it just is like wound your ego a little bit. Not that it should, but we internalize a lot of that. So I understand like needing a minute before you tell your partner, but maintaining a friendship after that,
it's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. And even if you think that you would not care if it was the roles were reversed and your partner had a coworker like this, I think it's because you're viewing this as like, well, I innately know that I am not attracted to Jay and I don't like Jay. You can only innately know that about yourself. You would not feel that same way about your partner.
Right.
So this to me is a big no-no.
So let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Expeditiously. Send Jay along.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll get into the next one.
There are many ways to entice a potential new customer with flashy branding and calculated marketing strategies. But at the end of the day, the success of a business comes down to the ability to close the sale. And for businesses like Thrive Cosmetics, Allbirds, or Skims, it's what goes on behind the scenes, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple that makes the difference. For them and for millions of businesses, that difference is made with Shopify. Businesses that want to grow, grow with Shopify. Because if your goal is growth, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And Shopify will make sure you're ready. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. And with Shop Pay, they boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going. It's no wonder Shopify is home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/realm.
And we're back with Canva Presents Secret Sounds Work Edition. Caller, guess this sound.
It's a mouse click.
So close. That's actually publishing a website with Canva Docs. Next caller.
Definitely a mouse click.
Nice try. It was sorting 100 sticky notes with a Canva whiteboard. We also would have accepted resizing a Canva video into 10 different sizes.
What? No way.
Yes way. One click can go a long way. Love your work at canva.com.
Vacations will never be the same. Welcome to the theme parks of Universal Orlando Resort. With spectacular hotels and more, Universal Orlando offers an entire week of vacation awesome. Visit universalorlando.com.
We're back and it's time for the next.
I'm 25 female Cancer. Serena is 26 female Aquarius. I'm also an Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
Serena always seems to jumble me into her plans without even asking. This week she asked if I can take her to the city because her car needs fixing. I just helped her 2 weeks ago with this issue for a week. She's literally refusing to make the appointment for Monday without me because she's relying on my car. The city is an hour away, also 100 miles round trip. I told her I would need gas money, and she said, I might be able to give you some. Not only is it not definite on the money part, which I didn't ask for last time, she also expects me to drive up with her, take her home, and drive back up when her car is ready later in the week. I only have one vehicle at the moment. My husband needs the car Wednesday to go to the city for work, and literally the day after I have to drive up for a heart appointment. That's already 200 plus miles just doing my shit alone. Then having to help her would be 500 plus miles in a week.
Holy shit.
Not only is that putting miles on my car, but also not even offering to pay for gas when she's using me as an Uber. I have never asked huge favors of Serena. I've always helped with no hesitation. I need her to understand just because I am a stay-at-home mom that I have a family now and responsibilities. I can't just drop everything to help her anymore. In the past, I've loaned her money, bought her food, taken her to work, taken her to doctor's appointments, helped her prevent getting evicted multiple times by cleaning her apartment and not lifting a single finger to help or even thank me. I finally feel like I'm just drained. She also has the means to get it towed. I'm even debating, is this friendship even worth it anymore? I know for a fact she never helps me unless it benefits her. A note, Serena is not a person who takes well to strong criticism or confrontation. She will always find a way to twist it. I've tried my best to be a supportive, loving friend and caring friend. I've never asked for anything in return in the past. I've just done it to help, even if it's been at my physical expense or mental expense.
It is so funny to me when people like this are like, I'm really not good with like conflict or confrontation. I'm like, so you just want to be a completely unchecked fucking weirdo?
What a leech.
No, this is crazy to me.
This is. And she just expects you to do this without being asked.
Like, this is like me and Mott's. Like, this is like what you do with like your partner of being like, I literally texted Mott's on the drive here being like, when are you taking my car in again? And he was like, Saturday, 7 a.m. I was like, perfect. But like, I didn't text you and say, hey, did you make my, like, you're driving my car? Like, that's crazy. This is also like not a village to me. You are a chauffeur.
Yes. Not just a chauffeur, for a personal assistant.
Uh-huh. And like, I've had like friends who have had like specific medical appointments where like they can, like regular ones over the course of months where they cannot drive themselves. Mm-hmm. And they felt like so guilty asking me because like, hey, you're really far away from like, we're not close to each other and where we're going is not close to where you are, but not the same as being a stay-at-home mom, but like you work from home. You're the only person who has like a flexible enough schedule. Could you do this? And I'm hoping to try and find another way to do it. And I was like, yeah, of course. And like worked with somebody else who was able to like help do that. And like that, this person has done so many things for me, would do that. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't even and they were so it's just like.
In that situation that you're talking about, they were also in a capacity where like they can't
medically, they wouldn't be allowed
to Uber or anything.
Yeah, no, they weren't allowed to.
This person has the means to get their car towed, but they don't have the means to pay you money for gas. No, like,
and the expecting of it is like really crazy to me.
It's bonkers. Like, tell her you're busy. Tell her, like, if she needs to make plans, she needs to go through you first. But she's a leech. Stop. Yeah. She doesn't do anything. A friendship, I'm not saying it should be, like, transactional, but you both should be benefiting from it in some type of way. Because why else would you be friends with this person?
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm just like, you need to just end this.
Yeah.
Because she's just going to keep doing it. She's taking advantage of you.
Yeah. I think that, like, I agree. Relationships aren't transactional, but like you should never feel resentment when someone who you're really close to asks you for something, because resentment doesn't build over one time. It builds like little by little over and over and over again. And it's because, hey, I know if I asked you to pick me up, I've asked you to pick me up in the airport and like you say no. And so you have a lot of
wait.
No, not you.
I know. I just want to make it clear.
First of all,
that
also,
it wasn't me.
I am like incredibly. I'm fine. I would pick people up from the airport. Thankfully, no one asks me to pick them up from the airport. But like, I think in general, it should be like, it's not tit for tat, but like if you're feeling resentment and like, even if you didn't tell us that she was not reciprocating any of this energy in your friendship, I would assume because you're feeling resentment. Resentment doesn't just like happen from a friend asking for a favor. Even if they don't like, even if they kind of expect it, or even if they don't say thank you, like resentment builds from the fact of like, you can count on me and I can't count on you.
Right.
And like, then the friendship in itself is not really a friendship. And like, it's lacking. And sometimes like, yeah, friendships aren't 50-50 all the time, but then you need a friendship that is 50-50 or 60-40 to counteract a friendship that is 80-20.
Right. Like if you're not getting anything from her emotionally, you're not just like kicking it and hanging out. You're literally just doing things for her and she's not giving you anything in return.
Yeah. And like you're a stay-at-home, like you don't have a ton of free time for
that's still a job.
Yeah. And like you don't have, and if this isn't going to count as, doesn't count as like getting coffee with one of your friends. Like this is like a hell of a long time. Can we also talk about, as people who live in LA, 100 miles in an hour? Melissa, that sounds so lovely.
One of my sorority sisters is going to be here in July. And she told me, she's like, I'm flying in at LAX, but I'm going to rent a car and driving to Ontario. I was looking to even see the distance. At the time that I looked, it was early this morning. And so I was looking, I was like, yeah, at that time, it is 100 miles. It was an hour at that time. But I'm like, what time are you flying in?
I will promise you, as someone who has done that drive, because like Ontario's near Riverside, one time it took me 5 hours. Like the way that like when I like drive leaving here during like rush hour to back to my place, it's not far in miles, but like when I tell you I can't even calculate how many miles I'm doing an hour because I'm like, well, it's going to take me over an hour. And I'm not even in the double digits of how many miles I have at this point. And it's,
because you're not even 15 miles away. No, it's not even, I think it's 8 miles.
I was going to say, it's not even 10. It's 8 miles. It's 8 miles and there's no traffic. 17 minutes.
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Anytime I go to like Burbank, which I have to do more often than not, sometimes at like 5 p.m. on a Friday, I want to pull my hair out. Coming back home, 15 minutes. No, it's like 2 hours getting there.
It's crazy to see how some like those things just like work at some points that I'm like, wow. And so then like when there's something that's like really doesn't take me a long time, if there's traffic, I go, I'm not going to go because I know that this is supposed to take me 10 minutes. If it takes me 40 minutes, whatever's on the other side of it is not fucking worth it.
Yeah. I mean, we were just planning what we're doing tomorrow. And I was like, can I come over early so I won't be stuck in traffic?
Yeah, because it's mind numbing.
Yes.
But we're all in it together, much like High School Musical.
So please get rid of her as a friend and tell her to get her car towed and she can figure out the rest from there.
Yeah. And then stop responding.
Also, would you have to take your child with you? I don't know how old they are. Would you have to take them with you on this trip?
It's things like this when people like lay it out that I go, I'll take my city traffic for not having to drive 100 miles to get to something.
It was 100 miles round trip, so 50.
Okay,
but
like
that's still
50 miles I'm going to do on a weekend for a Facebook Marketplace steal. And even then, Moms would go, I'll buy it full price for you. And I'll be like, no, it's on sale.
But then you have to start doing girl math with gas.
Yeah, but I can't do any
mileage.
Kind of math.
You just got to think about it. Mileage on your car, the mental tax that it takes, plus also, we don't even know if when we get there if it's going to be something good or not.
Yeah, no, it's tough.
Yeah.
It is tough. But yeah, stop being friends with her immediately. Next up. Hi. So I'm a junior in college and I've been thinking a lot about this situation. I was out at a house party with some friends. We were all pretty drunk and the topic of sex came up. I vaguely remember making an offhand comment about how there was no way I would ever want to have sex with my guy best friend. From what my girl best friend told me, it was one of those record scratch moments where everything in the room went quiet and my guy best friend looked hurt, but then got mad and left because he was embarrassed. Hearing about it the next day made me super embarrassed because I've known he's had feelings. Babe. Hearing about it the next day made me super embarrassed because I've known he's had feelings for me since high school, but I never reciprocated them. I feel awful and I tried to apologize to him, but every time I try to get together with him, he makes an excuse about working or needing to study. I don't want to lose him as a friend, but I don't know how to apologize to repair our relationship. Help. Stop being friends with people who want to fuck you. Stop being friends because
it seems like they're in the same friend group though.
You either need to get over the fact that he wants to fuck you or you can't be friends with him anymore because why are you just reminding this man that you don't want to fuck him?
And why was it just on the tip of your tongue during this drunk conversation?
And also when you say it, at first I thought it was hypotheticals of being yeah, no, I would I love my guy friends. I would never have sex with, but I think you said this man's name. I think you're I'd never have sex with Jimmy. Nah, Jimmy's dicking me? Vom, yuck. And Jimmy's just
he's just chilling, playing beer pong.
And then literally, what the fuck? You're a junior in college. He's had feelings from you since high school. And you're just over here just saying, couldn't pay me to fuck that man.
Couldn't be me. Oh my gosh. You need...
That's so mean.
Help is give him time. Maybe he has realized, I can't be friends with you. In this situation, you are the villains.
This is unnecessarily cruel.
You have to give him time to... I mean, he's already processed it because he knows that
he's
you don't want to...
I know you don't want to fuck me.
For at least 4 years.
Why are you bringing it back up?
Can you please... why are you announcing this to everyone?
We all know. We all know you don't want to fuck me because we're not fucking.
Oh my gosh. You just have to give him time. This friendship may never recover unless you were unless the record scratch moment was, I do love Josh, then you cannot talk to him. You can send him a text message and say, I am so sorry. And maybe give a heartfelt letter where you're apologizing your ass off. But then after that, it's in his court and he can either forgive you or not.
Yeah. This is it's so this is so out of pocket. It's such a crazy fucking thing to, again, offhanded just say to a man who already knows. And also, by the way, your whole friend group also knows. Yes. And so it's what is the point of that? Because for him, it feels like the point of that is just to embarrass him and to make him feel shitty and remind him of that. So I agree. I think a lot of times we think the most heartfelt apologies need to be delivered in person. But a lot of the time for me, I'm I don't want to talk. If I'm mad, I don't want to talk to you, but I don't want you to be I'm going to reserve the apology for when you're ready to talk in person. No. Send a text message apology.
Yeah, send him a fruit basket.
Yeah. And
an edible arrangement.
And put yourself in friendship timeout with your friend group and be I'm not going to come around for the next couple times. And then also make a conscious decision and tell him being that was super uncool of me. And I just want you to know that I feel really bad about that and I feel really guilty about that. And I am making a conscious change, not of deciding, don't say this to him, but the conscious change isn't I'll fuck you. The conscious change is I'm not going to get so wasted at a party that my friends has to tell me the next day that this is what I said.
Yeah. Oof. Ooh. And how hurtful and embarrassing. And it's also embarrassing for you too, but more embarrassing for him.
No, but and the part that annoys me is when he gets a girlfriend, I have a feeling you're going to be why doesn't she like me so much?
Right.
Or being he kind of seems pretty cute. Oh my God. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. This is just, I just in general I don't think we should be friends with people who want to fuck us. Do you know what I mean? Because
then
how am
I going to have a friend though?
No, but it's just a level of I also just don't think we should this is just clearly you think about it. Clearly this is on your mind. And that's the part
not
that it's
a drunk mind, not just a mind, a drunk mind.
And it's just there. It's like you said, it's on the tip of your tongue for it to come out so easily. I'm okay, maybe we shouldn't be friends. If this is going through your head is he wants to fuck me, he wants to fuck me, he is in love with me. Poor Jimmy Josh, whatever we called him.
Yeah, I just said Josh from Clueless, that moment in Clueless.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you might lose him as a friend and you might not repair this relationship.
You might lose your whole friend group.
Yeah, no, if I really respect friend groups when they're hey, our friend did something uncool, we're not good with that. I had this in high school where whatever, but this girl, my ex-boyfriend and her got together in a very rude, gross, not kind way or whatever. Then I hooked up with her ex-boyfriend to get back at her. But her friend group was like, you know what she was out of pocket. She's not invited to the next couple parties. Meghan, you guys can come. And I was like, cool. And so like we got invited to, and they were like, yeah, no, her and him can't come because that was very uncool. And what you guys did, and they were like, but they started hooking up too. They're like, yeah, but that was just reciprocated.
Right.
That was just a response. So I think like, have your friends hold you accountable as well.
Good luck.
Also, can we talk about the friend who told you about this the next morning? That friend was like, you have to know.
You need to do better.
Yeah, no, because, by the way, usually it's like, nothing, like, don't worry about it. No, they were like, no, I'm telling you this right now. Because there are repercussions, there are ramifications of the actions of the events that went down that night.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I swear to God, if at any point you decide you have feelings for him, no, you fucking don't. Like, you can't put him through that.
You have to be so certain in these feelings. Where you're like, let's get married tomorrow.
You need to go on an Eat, Pray, Love and then write a whole dissertation before you can prove to me that you can do it.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to take a break.
It's tough.
When we get back, we'll get into some more.
Faraday presenta Ojos con Alergia y Picazón contra el jardinero. Y el ganador es Faraday Extra Fuerte. Para aliviar la picazón de los ojos por alergia, actúa más rápido y supera Claritin y Flonase aún a las 24 horas. Faraday, adelante.
Shopping is hard, right? But there's a better way. Stitch Fix online personal styling makes it easy. I just give my stylist my size, style, and budget preferences. I order boxes when I want and how I want. No subscription required. And she sends just for me pieces, plus outfit recommendations and styling tips. I keep what I love and send back the rest. It's so easy. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/Spotify. That's stitchfix.com/Spotify.
Experience a progressive lens engineered with AI from Essilor, powered by individual measurements of your visual behavior. A lens personalized to you by an Essilor expert. Discover Verilux XR Track and enjoy instantly sharp vision in motion and seamless transitions from near to far. Find your local Essilor expert today at Essilor.com.
We're back, and it's time for another.
Hi, Meghan and Melisa. I am 19, she, her. My university chem lab partner is 19, he, him. We work really well together, but lately he's become super flirtatious.
Oh my God, we're flirting with everybody in this episode.
You people in college are horny.
Yeah, the birds and the bees, horned out.
And I think I have too. We have started hanging out outside of lab with our joint friend groups, and on occasion, one-on-one. I like him as a friend, and I like the attention.
That I actually think is the theme of this episode.
To be honest, I would like him as more, but he has a girlfriend. And I'm not a homewrecker.
Way to bury the motherfucking lead.
It's becoming increasingly hard for me to be around him without my feelings growing deeper. When we're out together, even with friends, we always end up mostly talking to each other. When we're in lab, it's getting harder for me to concentrate because he's super smart, and so am I, but I find his intellect hot. I'm trying to turn off this crush, but I can't stop thinking about him. Luckily, it's almost summer, and I'm going back to my hometown, but we do have the same major, and having classes together is inevitable. How do I write out these last 2 months of school?
Pretend he dies.
Well, you can't do that because they're lab partners. They do work together in class.
He's a ghost.
Well, for me, that would be...
Yeah, if you're like Melissa, you're just getting hornier. You go, if he's a ghost,
oh,
ooh,
God.
Just like my fanfics. Ooh. Or boo. So stupid. Yikes.
I say you have to stop hanging out with him outside of your lab.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, like, lab partners, they're usually stuck for the year, so like you can't switch around. But as far as you making time for him when you're not doing something that's academic, stop. If you're you said that your 2 friend groups are coming together. Not anymore.
Mm-mm.
You are with your friend group. If you see him out, you do not entertain him on a one-on-one basis.
Yeah. I agree with that because I think you make a list of all of the things you don't like about him, all the qualities you don't like, even things that like objectively you might not find annoying, but like someone else would. And then ask your friends, be like, literally list all of the like the shitty qualities about him or like things you don't like about him. And then also at the top of that list, which I would remind yourself of constantly, is that like it should not be attractive when someone in a relationship is entertaining you because like that talks a lot about their character, but also talks about how they would treat you in a relationship.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like you are special and exception to like the rule. And like to view this as like, wow, he's like, and I'm not saying you're doing this, but like, you know, I feel like everybody has been in a situation where it's like, oh my God, like he has a girlfriend and he's flirting with me. He must like really like me. And like most often, unless it's like it's one true love, you get together like the people on the Today Show. Was it them? Was it The View? No, they're Whoopi. What is it? The Today Show.
Good Morning America.
Oh, those are different shows. Whichever fucking one it was.
I think it was Good Morning America.
The coworkers who got together, like either like,
and then their spouses got together.
Yeah, which I say, good. So you were either like, oh my God, like one true love, and like it's wow, we figured this out. But like more often than not, a guy who has like a girlfriend who seemingly doesn't go to your school, he's enjoying the process of flirting with other people a lot, not just you, repeatedly.
And I also think that some people do just like have a flirtatious personality,
totally.
Or because you have feelings, you misconstrue their friendliness.
Mm-hmm.
Where he might be like, we have, you know, a lot in common because we have the same major, we work well together, like you've said, like we're friends.
Mm-hmm.
And you might be misconstruing conversations.
Yeah. Have you met his girlfriend? Would you have an issue if you were his girlfriend and he had a friend like you and the lab partner? So like I think like viewing this as opposed to being like, oh, my feelings for him, looking at this like as much as you can from a more like bird's eye perspective and view of this, of being like, if I was his girlfriend, how would I feel about this? Just because you need to remember that this guy doesn't like whatever, hang the sun in the moon. Like when you have a crush, it can become like everything they do is adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Like think of him opening an umbrella. Think of him running. Think of him tripping. Think of him having like diarrhea where he has to like hold the bathroom stall, like because he's like, I'm going to shit myself. You know, like think of things that like objectively you're like, I wouldn't find that hot and I would find that embarrassing, and like put him in those spots. And so every time you like see him and you're not, again, like specifically like platonic academic lab partners, just remind yourself of the image of him like running to try and catch a bus. So then you can be like, okay, I'm not going to talk to him.
It's okay. I can save him. No. You can't have, it can't be, you might be in that infatuation stage where everything is just so cute.
Yeah, then I need you to be 19 and fuck someone else.
Fuck somebody else. Also, I know we've got 2 months to bear before the summertime. Labs are usually just once a week. If we can just get through, they are long though, like 3 hours. If we can just get through those hours,
mm-hmm.
and then you go home, we're not studying outside of class unless it's a big group and you mm-hmm. are not sitting next to him. We're not studying, like we're doing nothing because I feel like he's going to be like, you know, let's study for the final together. No.
Also, I understand that you're smart and he's smart and you're like, oh my God, wonderful being smart. Smart people can have fun too. So like you need to like go out with your friend, like go do things. If this is the social interaction, the only social interaction you're getting, and like here, I get it. It's finals. I understand. I went to college. I don't know. But like, I do think it is like absolutely crucial. The way that when I scaled back on like my going out, which was like the scale back was quite minimal. And I like developed a crush on a guy in my class that resulted in the worst date like of my life. And it was like horrible. And then I was like, I need to go back. Put me back in those streets.
Get back in the streets.
I need to get back in the street. I was sitting in the classroom. I got my textbook. It was an acting class. There was no textbook. But I was there. I was sitting at my desk and I said, I need my ass out of this desk and I need my feet in the street. And like, that's what I think, like, there's a bit of like camp tunnel vision and things that can happen when you're like so academically focused that it becomes like your pool in your mind becomes a hell of a lot smaller because like that's where you're getting that mm-hmm. like socialization and the flirting. Like your opportunity to flirt in college should never be sequestered to your fucking chem lab.
School is school
Yeah.
And then you find out what parties are happening every day of the week after you've studied
without him,
you've put in your work. Then you find something else and you go flirt with some other man.
Yes. Yeah. I'm a big believer in like, you can be the smartest person in school. You can be so academic and all of that. Like you have to school. Yes. Obviously prioritize your school. If you graduate college without having taken advantage of like any of the social aspects and opportunities, you are just setting yourself on a road for burnout a hell of a lot sooner. Like it's just going to become much more inevitable. You need to like let loose, have fun, and like distract yourself with attainable.
Yeah. Single
people.
Yeah. And then when you go back to your hometown, is there somebody you want to fuck there?
Back.
Fuck somebody there.
Yes. Here, I am very okay with people doing a loop-de-loop, a circle back for someone from high school. Do you have someone who, you know, they took a year-long break to, you know, find themselves in your bed, you know, in your twin bed.
Oh God.
Granted, if you're 19, you're probably the freshman. You've got just the twin extra long bed. That's the only difference at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you fare in a twin XL?
I hadn't slept in a twin bed since I was about 7 years old.
Because it's the exact wrong amount of length that you would like.
Mine wasn't XL. It was just a twin bed.
Oh.
XL was just like for the athletes and maybe you.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I feel like everyone had twin XLs.
I didn't have a twin XL.
Oh.
But I hadn't, the other way, I hadn't slept in a bed that size since I was 8. Actually, 7 maybe.
Yeah.
No, first grade I had a full-size bed.
Mm-hmm.
Kindergarten then. So.
Stifled.
It wasn't great for me.
No. I also I was so impressed with the girls who were hooking up with other freshmen. Because I saw the bed and I said, I'm fucking an upperclassman. I cannot fuck in this bed.
But remember what happened after my first semester.
Oh, they left and you put them two together.
And I moved those two together.
Yeah.
So my roommate, I prayed her away. Mm-hmm. And then when she left, they kept saying, somebody's may come back. Somebody may come. And that's the power of God.
Exactly. And that's how you got your big bed.
Mm-hmm.
I slept in with one person in not my bed, his bed. And he also lived in the dorms. It was but we didn't I think we just made out. We didn't hook up. But I literally and we were very good friends. And he was single. Okay. And I remember turning to him at one point being like, is this what people are fucking doing? People are having, and he was like, dude, it's hard. And I was like, this is insane. This is insane.
Yeah.
That was my first, as soon as I got there, I said,
I was still, my first semester, I was still a virgin. So it wasn't sex in the bed anyway. So.
You know, I went to the frat house immediately.
Frat house is disgusting.
No, this man had black silk sheets on his bed. And also I had a crush on him because he was not mine, but he was one of the orientation leaders.
Mm.
And I was also I think of this, I was a young college kid. I turned 18 about a week before I got there. And he was a junior. And I was like, ew.
You're an adult.
Yeah, you're an adult with your black silk sheets. I'm in my fucking twin XL. I just turned 18. I don't even have my driver's license. Ew.
That's a little.
Granted, he did dump me. And so good on him eventually, but could have done it better.
All right, we're going to take another break, and when we get back, we'll get into Don't Blame Them.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Commercial Insurance. Business owners, meet Progressive Insurance. They make it easy to get discounts on commercial auto insurance and find coverages to grow with your business. Quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Business. How can you free up your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business empowers leaders to not only streamline purchasing, but better support their teams so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and Focus on your future. Learn more about the technology, insights, and support available at amazonbusiness.com.
This episode is brought to you by Principles. Are there limits to the U.S. government's debt growth? What will happen if the debts are not curtailed? What should policymakers or investors do? Those are urgent questions that legendary investor and New York Times bestselling author Ray Dalio addresses in his new book, How Countries Go Broke: The Big Cycle. The book comes out in June and is available for pre-order today, wherever books are sold.
We are back. It is time for Don't Blame Them. This is where a listener will call in or write in with their own advice pertaining to a call we'd aired on a previous episode. So they might have personal experience. They might have professional experience. They might just have something to say where they feel like they can give, some additional insight.
I do want to give a content warning that this is about weight loss. Weight loss due to a medical condition.
Hi, Meghan and Melisa. Long-time listener and first-time calling in. I was listening to your most recent episode of Don't Blame Me, the April 3rd one, and wanted to give some advice to a caller who was struggling with weight loss. I was anorexic for a long time, and once I started eating again, I gained 80 pounds in a year. It was really hard to go through. A few years later, now, I've experienced rapid weight loss due to health issues, and I've struggled with that too. It's like we spend so much time trying to accept who we are and the body that we have, just to be sent back into the deep end. My biggest advice is to talk to those who are close to you, the ones who won't bring it up. Open up to them about your struggles and fears about both your health issues and the weight loss. If you have a solid support system, they will lift you up and support you in a way that has nothing to do with losing weight as a positive thing. I'm sending all of my love and understanding to the caller, and I mostly just want them to know they're not alone. And I get it. And it sucks.
That was really helpful. Yeah, very kind.
Thank you for sharing.
So that is it for our episode. We hope you all enjoyed. As always, don't forget to write in, call in with your predicaments that you would like us to help you with. And please, for the love of God, I need some of you to call in for Don't Blame Thems about not fucking with someone who has a girlfriend, as well as being friends with someone who wants to have sex. And
that was the theme of this
I swear
episode.
to God, if any of you call in being like, relatable,
it worked out for me.
Don't keep that to your motherfucking self.
I want to hear it.
We'll pay that on a different time because I can't let the delusion.
We're not even. I still want to hear it.
No, I still want to hear the story. I love those kinds of stories. But help. Let's bring our community. We need to bring some people back down to earth.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. Join us tomorrow for a rousing episode of Fisting Friday. Monday we have But Am I Wrong? Tuesday. See you next Tuesday. Wednesday. Let us know what your favorite episode is. And let the people know. And that's the episode that everybody is going to collectively listen to.
Yeah, I love it. Homework.
Yeah. Thursday, we'll be back for a new episode of Don't Blame Me. Make sure you're following us on TikTok, on Instagram. Also, buy our merch. This is the absolute last week that you can purchase this merch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving you a deadline.
Okay. And also, we've figured out about the tariffs.
We'll worry about that in future time.
Yeah. We're really banking on Newsom doing his own side negotiations.
He said he was working on it.
I believe him.
I do too.
That man is spiteful. He runs on pure spite, and that's fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will talk to you tomorrow.
Bye. This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production by Coco Lorenz.
Production assistance by Melanie D. Watson.
And music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso.
Can you actually change your personality if you want to? How does peer pressure work, and why is it so powerful? Should you ever really trust your gut when you make a big decision? These are just a few of the topics we've recently covered on my podcast, Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and each episode of Something You Should Know covers multiple topics that are likely relevant to you. You'll discover things you can use in your life today, right now, like how to have a great conversation, how to be more courageous, the anatomy of the perfect apology, and much, much more. To date, there are over 1,000 episodes of Something You Should Know, and we've gotten over 4,000 mostly 5-star reviews. I invite you to check out Something You Should Know. Look for the bright yellow light bulb on the blue background. Something You Should Know, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Have you ever heard about the 19th century French actress with so many lovers that they formed a lovers' union? Or what about the Aboriginal Australian bandit who faked going into labor just to escape the police, which she did escape from them. It was a great plan. How about the French queen who murdered her rival with poison gloves? I'm Ann Foster, host of the feminist women's history comedy podcast, Vulgar History. Every week I share the saga of a woman from history whose story you probably didn't already know, and you will never forget after you hear it. Sometimes we re-examine well-known people like Cleopatra or Pocahontas, sharing the truth behind their legends. Sometimes we look at the scandalous women you'll never find in a history textbook. Listen to Vulgar History wherever you get podcasts. And if you're curious, the people I was talking about before, the Australian woman is named Marianne Bugg, and the French actress was named Rochelle, no last name, just Rochelle. And the queen who poisoned her rival is Catherine de Medici. I have episodes about all of them.
What's up, fellow TV watchers? It's Brian from The Core Podcast, where we cover all things Apple TV+. We are wrapping up our recaps of Emmy favorite Severance, but 2025 on Apple TV Plus is just getting started. In April and May, The Core is recapping Seth Rogen's new Hollywood satire, The Studio, and Jon Hamm's dark comedy, Your Friends and Neighbors. We'll also be recapping the first 2 seasons of Apple's sci-fi thriller, Foundation, heading into the 3rd season of that later this year. Search for The Core, all things Apple TV Plus, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.